Alright, so the article that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys is called Strangers and Orphans, Knowledge and Mutuality in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It was written by a professor from the University of Auckland, Claudia Rosas Gomez. She's a professor in the School of Critical Studies, and I actually did use this as one of my scholarly sources in my Frankenstein essay. And the intro just kind of goes over what will be discussed in the article, as any intro does, but it kind of focuses on knowledge and knowledge production, how knowledge of social nature can lead to humanization and the development of mutualization or mutuality, kind of how that applies to Frankenstein. The first section is kind of just critical responses to the novel. One response views the creature as a representative of children or oppressed minorities, and it's kind of like their manifesto for the vulnerable. And it kind of says how society is responsible for those who can't help themselves, kind of those who can't, look after themselves. But others just kind of, it focus on the novel as Shelley's critiquing of education of the time, more specifically kind of the monster as a reflection of the limits of education. The second section focuses on a scholar named Fryer's work. He believed that only through communication can life have meaning. He also believed that education had the potential to humanize or dehumanize an individual. In the monster's case, it essentially dehumanized him. But I also believe that questioning things that happen in everyday life, questioning things you were told, allowed you to kind of develop your own personal values about some things. The next section is kind of split up into parts in itself. It's contrasting conceptualizations about knowledge and knowledge production. The first part of that is the belief that knowledge has a predetermined endpoint. They believe that some things are beyond human understanding, and applying that to the novel, that would be the creature essentially creating something out of nothing, creating the creature out of leftover body parts. The next part of that is belief that knowledge is a private individual pursuit. An example of that is, Victor going off to the university, isolating himself to study the secret of life. Kind of isolated himself. Another example would be Walton, just kind of keeping to himself on the ship while their voyage in the Arctic is undergoing. But, of course, that changes when Victor shows up too. The next one is knowledge as dialogical and uncertain. It's just kind of learning through experiences, as the monster did. And with those experience, questions arise, who am I? The concept of language and networking through communication. The last one is knowledge as a personal experience of every day. And just kind of building, it's just kind of building on what you've learned from previous days. It's the blocks, keep doing the blocks. And just kind of building on that and taking steps back. The next section is just kind of a discussion. It kind of shows Gomez's views, and about the title. And she did believe that the theme of the Frankenstein novel was being alone. And she did have a point there with, all three perspectives in the story. Victor, Walton, and the monster, they were both on their own, or they were all on their own for some point, and the novel kind of shows the effects of that. And Gomez also goes on to discuss Fryer's work and kind of debate that. The last section is the conclusion, and the one takeaway is just how we conceive and produce knowledge helps us connect relationships and events in life. But yeah, that's all I've got. That's the story or the article in a nutshell. Thank you for watching.